Hi everyone, I'm Jenna. This is Apple Dolly Creation. Welcome. This is our very first video on our creator page. So I've been sending links out, posting them, trying to get all of you to hop over and join this page because this is the page where all of the videos are going to be. This is a creator page, and this is what I've been trying to get for a long time, and I could not figure it out. So somebody helped me, and now we got it. So the group page is still going to be in existence. We're just going to use it for something else. But all of the live videos are going to be on here. So I think I've totally confused some of you because I started another page and I didn't set it up right. And so 2 weeks, I'm going to cancel that page out. And this is the page. And I've been sending links back and forth. So hopefully now that I got you all totally baffled and confused, you can follow me on this page. What we're doing today is a snowman for a customer. So she has totally given me permission to do what I wanted with a few exceptions. So this is going to be our snowman head. This is a globe. When we moved in this house, this was in a closet. And because it's frosted, there was no light shining through. So I pulled it out of there and I put it in my glass stash. And so this is a head. As soon as I took it off the ceiling, I told Tony this is going to be a head, which he gives me funny looks sometimes when I tell him things like that. Because he loves it after I'm done, but he doesn't have the imagination. Yesterday, at a thrift shop, I picked this up. This is very heavy. I picked it up for $1.50. There is a women's shelter that has a thrift shop, and I always go there. So I got this for $1.50 because their prices are like really cheap. So we are going to glitter the inside of this. Now this, because it's frosted, you can see. I put a little bit of glitter, Mod Podge and glitter on the inside of this, but you really, I mean, you can see the glitter, but not very well. So I don't know. I mean, you can see the spot, but it's not very glittery. So I haven't decided if we're going to glitter the outside of this or we're just going to continue glittering the inside. I'm going to think about this as we work on this. So the hat is part of a oatmeal container. I just cut it down and then I cut a piece of cardboard, and I've already wrapped this in fabric. I Mod Podged it on so that it would dry. So I did it 2 inches bigger than the diameter of this container. So the fabric we're using, I pulled this out of my stash. I'm not sure where I ever got this fabric, but I don't like it. But I do like the back side of it because it has stripes on it. You get a real faint, can you see that? Real faint stripe on the back side of this fabric. So every time I use this fabric, I use the back side of it. So there's a tip. If you can't find exactly what you want, turn your fabric over. So this is what we're doing. On this side, it's white stripes, but on this side, it's a real faint gray. Hi, Stephanie. So this is what we're using. We're going to cover the hat. So because of the way this goes down, if we decide to do the inside of this, and all of these curves on this, I am using a sponge to put the Mod Podge in here. I think I'd have better control with a sponge than a foam brush. So that's what we're doing. We're making a snowman, Stephanie. So in this jar, I have mixed 2 4-ounce containers of Snowy Surprise glitter. I picked this up at Walmart. And from Crafter's Choice, this was a little container of silver. I mixed that in here. Also in here is about an inch, inch and a half of the faux snow. So I mixed it all together, and this is what we're going to be doing this snowman in. So we're going to be using lots of Mod Podge, so I picked up a gigantic container today. And I'm hoping we can get this done in one setting. If not, then we're going to have to do it in two. Yesterday, I went to Dollar General. I always look for after Christmas sales of ornaments that don't look Christmas, but are marketed for Christmas. And this is one of them. It's metal. So we're going to be using one of these. I also got, see, there's nothing Christmassy about this. Where's the other one? This is a little wooden bead circle, and it had a little bow and a little piece of pine on it. So I pulled it off. But there's nothing Christmassy about this once you pull that little tiny piece of pine off. So go to Dollar General and pick up all these ornaments, because I'm going to be using them all year, that are in the Christmas section. They're only 50 cents because they're marked half off right now. But we're using this star, and we're going to, yeah, they are very cute. So I've already did one of the stars. I pulled this bow, and it just comes right off. You don't really have to yank too hard on it. It comes right off. And I covered it with Mod Podge and cinnamon. So that's what we're using on the front of our snowman. And it's sitting down here finishing drying. I'm also using on the hat, this is a ribbon. It's a burlap, and it looks like newspaper print. What I don't like about this is it's trimmed in a gold thread. So I just cut all that gold thread off. And then we're going to be using this on the hat also. So it's a little prim and a little not prim. So she told me to do what I want as long as it has a few things on it. What she wants on it is a star. We're doing that. And she wants one of my crows. So we're putting this crow on the star. He's on a stick because that's how I dry them. I paint them and dry them. So he already has a rusty star on it. We made these last Christmas, Thanksgiving, I think. So if you want this pattern, say pattern, and I'll shoot it to you. So we're using this crow. So we're going to get started, and we're going to do this body. So it's going to be, that's what it looks like together. So we're not going to glue the head onto this, because we're going to have lights in the head and in the body, and that way they can be changed out if they need to be. So this is going to be quite a substantial piece. And I still don't know if we're glittering the inside of the head, because you can see the glitter a little bit, but not as much as you can see it through here. So I'm going to use this sponge. You know, I'm just going to dump some in there, because the whole inside of this has to be coated with Mod Podge. So one thing nice about using a clear vase is you can see exactly where you are and what you've missed with the glitter and with the Mod Podge. And I'm even doing the bottom. So every time I go thrift shopping, I always stop at that one thrift shop, because it helps women that are getting off of drugs, getting out of rehab, that's been in shelters for whatever reason. And their prices are pretty reasonable. I always find glassware when I go in there. they do training for women in that thrift shop. They do all kinds of stuff. It's really a nice place, and it's huge. Making sure I have all this coated. I don't want any big globs of Mod Podge because that will take longer to dry. You just need a thin, even coat. And this is quite messy. So I'm just going to take some of this glitter and dump it in. And start rolling it around. And let it catch in there. So when this dries, this is going to be very sparkly without the glitter problem that we always have with glitter going everywhere. Can you, now you can't see that. And I always put the lid back on my container because if you've watched me for a while, I drop stuff all the time. So I'm going to tip this up so I can get this ridge. So I bought a real big cut glitter so that you could see it a little more. So I'm just going to put it up on this ridge because I got a whole bunch of it in the bottom. This room will never be without glitter in it. I don't care how much I clean it, it's still around. So there we go. It's all coated. Oops, no, it's not. Up under this ridge, didn't get enough. So I'm gonna push some into it. Need some more Mod Podge right there on that ridge. Okay. So like I was saying, I'm trying to get everyone to hop over and join this page. This is a creator page, and there's a lot more things we can do with a creator page than the regular page that I was trying to start, and I started it the wrong way. Wipe some of this off. So with this page, we are going to be doing videos in other groups also. So you will be seeing other creators in this group. I'm looking for the thing I had to dump all this glitter in. It fell. So can you see that? It's going to be very pretty when this is done. So I think I'm still going to, I don't know, you don't really see the glitter through this frosting. we're going to do the outside. So the outside I can do with a foam brush. Now this glass has been put through my dishwasher and then cleaned with alcohol. So when this dries on this head, we're going to have to go back and seal it with Mod Podge again. That base is done. We don't have to seal the inside of that. But this is we're going to have to. I was hoping this is such a light frosting on here, lightly frosted, that we can see the glitter. But I did a sample of it, and I'm not satisfied with how it shows through. So we're just going to do this. Once we seal it, we'll put 2 coats of glitter or Mod Podge on the outside of the glitter, and then that will seal that in. You can also use a clear coat spray, and that will seal it also. I'm just evening out this coat of Mod Podge on here. So we didn't use as much Mod Podge as I thought we were going to, because I bought an enormous thing today. Okay. So I'm just going to tap it lightly just to make sure that it is stuck in that Mod Podge. So there we go. Can you see how sparkly that is? It looks like there's pink and purple and blue in that, and it's just a silver and this snowy white, snowy surprise, and a little bit of faux snow. But it's got all kinds of colors in it now. So we're going to get my hand out of there. We're going to turn this upside down, and we're going to let this dry just for a little bit, and then we're going to put a coat of Mod Podge on this. Okay. We're going to set this aside. Lord, I don't want to spill this. Set it up on a shelf. Maybe it'll be safe up there. Away from me. I have gigantic containers of buttons. And one time in the store, I dropped one of them. It hit the floor, the container busted open, and buttons went flying everywhere. Tony, God bless him, spent an hour picking up buttons for me. So we're going to work on this hat. We're going to set this aside, let those dry. Move this. There we go. So I've already covered this, and we're going to cut this out. So this is just a fabric piece of cardboard that I've already Mod Podged the fabric onto the cardboard. And it's almost dry. And we're just going to cut this extra fabric off. Now, if you have problems cutting circles, I've showed this before. At Dollar Tree, where they sell the balloons, you can pick up these. They are just round circles that you can blow your balloons up and measure the inside of the balloon so that you can get all your balloons the right size. But they're perfect for crafting and cutting fabric and stuff. And that's what I used for this. So those of you who know my mother, don't accept the new friend request from her. I found on here yesterday that I have two of my mother on here. Somebody hacked her and made another profile. So we have to get that taken care of again. So I'm going to cut this center out. I just cut a 2-inch circle and I cut the center of the cardboard out. I want this to sit down over its head. So I'm not cutting this totally out of the center. I'm cutting some of the center out. So there's our brim. Let's work on this top. So all I did was hold my container up to the head and just decided how big that this container needed to be. So the brim is going to sit down over the head a little bit, and then this on the top. So we're going to glue this all together. We're going to cover it. And I think I'm just going to hot glue this on. I wanted the fabric to be tighter on the brim. And this fabric is 2 inches wider than what the hat is. So I can flip it under. So I was looking at new glue guns today. What kind of glue gun do y'all use? Because I definitely need a new one. That thing is about 100 years old. And I just turned under a little bit of the end of the fabric just so we don't have a raw edge. So I'm going to go on the inside, and I'm just going to put some glue around and push this excess fabric in. That way it'll give us a clean edge. I'm just going to fold this under. So if you have empty cardboard food containers, like instant tea comes in, lemonade mix comes in, oatmeal comes in, start saving those, because we are going to be doing... You don't either? Yeah, this one, I liked it when I first got it, but I don't like it anymore. So we're just going to turn this fabric in and glue it. But I use this so much, I'm probably wearing it out. I'm not sure how long they're supposed to last. I think I would like to have a cordless one. I'm not sure how they last either. I'm not burning myself. My hand's cramping. I work today, so when I work, I have problems with my hands at night. Some of you may have seen a post on the group page. We have a follower that is in dire need of prayer. So if you all could pray for her. I tried to ask her permission to put her name out there, but it doesn't matter because God knows who she is. But they were treating her for cancer. She went through chemo and the whole 9 yards. It's not cancer. She has some kind of a rare disease, and there's no cure. She's 29 years old. She has lost her marriage. The children are now living with their father. And so everyone has an opinion on him for doing that, but we don't really know that the reason why he said enough is enough. But he needs prayer too. She has 2 children, about 8 to 10 years old, and she's in the hospital right now. She's living with her 80-year-old grandmother, and her grandmother is taking care of her. So that whole family is in need of our prayers. But the children are losing their mother. She had a feeding tube. She was on hospice. The new doctor took her off of hospice, and today she had a feeding tube put in. So last night she had problems with her blood sugar. They had to resuscitate her through the night. So this poor girl is really having a hard time. So I have been talking to her for about a month, but Christmas Eve her condition got worse, and it's because she was being treated for one thing and she has another. So I'm just checking this circle to make sure that it fits that whole top. It needs a little bit more trim off. So I was messaging her today, and she was terrified. She was absolutely terrified today. And I'm sure her grandmother, being 80, has her own health problems, and she's trying to take care of her. It's just not a good situation. So I'm just setting this right on the top, just working this in, pulling out any glue that oozes out, just making sure that it's all stuck there. I'm not even sure how that young girl and I became friends. She lives about an hour from here, but I'm not sure how she got on my Facebook page. I didn't stick that on there enough. So I'm just gluing this bottom edge and I'm going to stick it on the brim. I'm just going to hold it here for a second. So we have a hat. I'm going to take this burlap ribbon and wrap it around. And this cut edge I'm going to fold under. So snowmen you can decorate with all winter. And this is, nothing about this is going to be Christmassy. Try not to burn my fingers. Okay, so I've got all these edges down. So what do you think of the hat so far? So I have all kinds of trims, all in blacks. I have this buffalo check. This is just a plain black. So I really don't want to put a bow on this, but maybe I'm just creasing that ribbon that we folded under, making sure that is stuck. So this is a lace. That we can start our bow with. Not really a bow. Let's cut this in half. And this is a real thin, I think it's 1/8 inch. It says 3 millimeter, whatever that is. We'll put a couple pieces of this here on top. You see me do these kind of scrappy bows many, many times. We're going to do a class on bows, on how to do a regular bow. I do these because most people have problems with bows. So this one is a little bit wider than that one, but it has an edge on it, just a little trim. So I'm going to put some of these on it. Let me cut off that very edge. Oh, there's already a piece cut. I'm going to dovetail these ends. This is a wired ribbon. This one I picked up at Sam's Club. If you watch Sam's Club, if you go to Sam's Club, they have really nice ribbons. And my Dollar General yesterday had some beautiful ribbons. They were 50% off, so. This is actually a sewing trim for a seam, but I'm going to cut a piece of it. This is called seam tape to tie this together. Is it going to be too big? Yeah, it's going to be too big. Let's cut all of this in half. And we'll just double it. And then we'll have to dovetail those other two ends. There we go. We're going to tie it together with this seam tape. And this seam tape, it's a satin seam tape. Some of it's lace. But it's going to become part of the bow. Pull this back and let's dovetail these ends. So we might get this done tonight. I thought maybe this would be a 2-night video. And I'm just pulling all of this out, and because the buffalo check is wired, you can form this a little bit better. I'm just pulling all of these pieces apart just to make it a big bow. I have a button here. I cut the shank off. It's a basket weave. Yeah, you can see that. And I'm going to glue that right in the center. See, do we want this on the side or in the front? The front. There's the back seam, so right there's the front. So what do you think? There's our hat. Trying to get this glitter off. My hands are so dry from work. I've been using so much lotion. So what do you think? There's that. Let's get this head. Let me get the container back. And we're going to Mod Podge this one more time because that's dry already. Now when you Mod Podge over this glitter or cinnamon, you don't want to rub, you want to pounce it. It takes a little bit more Mod Podge, but if you rub it, you rub whatever off. So this definitely will take longer to dry because this coat is going to be thicker. But this way our glitter will not rub off. This lady has so many of the things I make. Thanks. I love that glitter. I bought clear, but it's got all colors in it. And I don't know if that was in the snow. The faux snow had that in it. But that little bit of silver really sparkles this. So the silver was a real fine glitter, and the other was a chunk. So we're going over our 45 minutes tonight. I hope y'all don't mind. This room with the door closed gets really warm. Tony's putting a ceiling fan in here. It was 49 today, beautiful. Tonight it's going down to 27. And they say we could have a snowflake. A snowflake. Everyone was talking about it today, and I was like, y'all don't know what snow is. Hi, Stephanie. They don't know what snow is. Oh, I missed the whole side. So this snowman's face we're not going to be able to do tonight. So I might pop on real short tomorrow to do his face with all of you so that you can see it. There we go. Now this is going to take longer because it's on there thicker. If I can get this off my hand now. There we go. Okay. That wasn't too bad. I thought I'd have more glitter on me. More Mod Podge. There's one little spot that needs some glitter. That lid works out perfect for when I'm glittering everything, including myself. Okay, so here's our body. And it's just about dry. And we do not have to, you still see some streaks of Mod Podge there. You do not have to put a second coat of Mod Podge because this is on the inside. Now these lights I got from Temu last Christmas. I think I bought, they were like 69 cents. I bought a ton of these. But it's a strand of 20. But what I like about it, it's got this tiny little box. You haven't had much, Stephanie? Well, tomorrow morning I'll see if we got any. But the way they have this wrapped, sometimes it's really hard to unwrap. Because there's two strands of wire that these tiny little lights are on. But these lights have 3 settings. I like the constant on, but not everybody likes that. Some people like the blinking. Or this also has chasing lights. Okay. Let's get this untwisted. We're just going to shove that down in there. I will turn these lights off so that you can see how that light shines through when we get done here. So I just bent it over a little bit, just over that lip, so this can hang here, and we're going to put a scarf on him. So I'm using this buffalo check, and we're putting the scarf right here because the head's going to be here, so we're going to do this lip here. Let me measure this. How much do we need? I am going to tack this down with glue. Just got to get it fixed here. I'm just knotting it. I'm not putting a bow. Just going to knot it and fix this knot so that it's like more like a square knot. And dovetail these ends. Oh, that's not a dovetail. That's the wrong way. There we go. That's a dovetail. So I have to fuss with these bows sometimes to get them going right. So there we go. I'm just going to take a little bit of hot glue and put it right under the back. Just enough to hold it right there. So I've taken the star, this star. I pulled that little ribbon off and took the jute out of it. Put a coat of Mod Podge and put cinnamon and then Mod Podged it again. So this is almost dry. So because it has a hole here for the hanger, we're going to put this bow back on it. Will that look right? Let's see. Let's do the crow on there first. I just have to glue this little tiny hole that I had the skewer on there. How do we want him? So if we turn the star where the hole is for the hanger, the crow will cover that up. I'm going to glue that on there. So there we are. And we're going to glue this star right on the front of the snowman's body. Now this is indented, so I'm going to use E6000 and hot glue. In each point of the star, I'm putting a dollop of this. And on the inside points, I'm going to put hot glue. I'm putting a nice big dollop because of that being indented. I'm going to have to put some in the center also. So there's the body so far. So what do you think so far? There's the body. The body is done. Let's glue that crow up a little bit more. So around the crow's neck is a little bit of, thanks Stephanie, a little bit of cheesecloth that I tied around its neck and put a little rusty star. Now the star was already rusty. I didn't rust it. I just rusted the white one. There we go. So let's get this back. I don't think we're going to be able to do its face because this is pretty wet. So we're going to end it there. Tomorrow night I will come back at 7 o'clock and we will do his face. That way it'll sit all night and all day and totally set up. Thanks for joining me. Love you guys. If you could like, share, and comment, I would appreciate it. And help me get the members from the group over here if you could, if you know any of them. God bless you. Have a great night. Bye.